Well, hello, Lightworkers 5.0. We're back. This is Leti and my
This
beautiful
is
co-host.
Irene. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and get some housekeeping out of the way. Please, please, please click on the bell. You know the deal. Ding, ding. Not guys, and you know what? I just want to take a moment. I'm going to do is just go into commercial mode here, but it really does help the algorithm for those of us that are trying to get our messages through, and it gets it to more people, which I'm sure you want to be part of our team and send love and light out into the world with as many people as possible. So yes, thank you in advance for clicking on the bell and welcome to anyone who has not been on our page before. This is a fun page.
Yes.
No, there's a lot of
Yeah,
things
we like to
happen
have
here.
fun. Oh, we just
Yes.
want to be ourselves, really, right?
Yeah.
This is how we talk when we're not recording ourselves.
Yeah, nothing's really different.
So we talk a
Nothing's
lot.
different at
We
all.
talk a lot
Yeah,
of,
we do.
yeah, we talk a lot about different topics. So we thought, why not record this, right?
Might as well.
Share it, share.
Sharing is caring.
Yes, so true. Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, so today's topic is, and of course, I feel like I'm the guinea pig of the world, right? I'm always trying new things, and I'm always like, let's talk about this. But it really does apply, I think, to everybody at this point. I mean, gosh, I don't know. We just had St. Patrick's Day. So we're in March, right? This is just a little past the middle of the month of March 2023. Okay, for time capsuling this. Dun, dun, dun. And there's a lot that's happening. I think we'll look back on this week and we'll be like, oh, that was a great week. Um, but there is a lot happening in the world on the world stage. And I don't, like I was talking to Irene earlier today, we really do try to tackle some of these big things with the most love and light as we can. We're not going to get down and sad and oh, I don't want to bring in that kind of energy. But we know that we are living in this on this planet at this time, and we are spiritual beings going through an amazing spiritual awakening. But we still have to deal with human feelings and humanity as a whole. So I think some of the things that I've been hearing just collectively and out in the universe is, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? The bank, and then Putin and the Chinese are meeting, and Trump's going to get arrested, and the blah 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 blah, right? And is Harry going to the coronation? Who cares?
You see?
No, I let that go with the Pringles. That's
Yeah,
no longer
that's true.
that is no
Oops.
longer my experience. I have moved on.
Yeah,
But I think I was telling Irene, I think it's important for us to talk about how we handle fear. How do we handle fear? Big fear, not fear that, oh gosh, I'm going to be late tomorrow, or what if it rains again? Here in California, we've been just inundated with water, so that's a real deal. I get it, right? There's been floodings and everything, but sometimes when you look at things that are big like this, we don't know where we don't know how to feel. We don't know where to go, what to think about, what to turn to, or who to turn to. And our channel is if anything, guys, it's just the other side of life. It's the spirit side, and I think Irene and I both agree that you don't have to be religious to be spiritual and to want to have a good life and to want to be a good
totally two
person.
different things. They're on the
Yeah,
opposite scale. Religion is about control, spiritual is about freedom. It's like, who do you want to be? Then
hmm
do it.
yeah,
But the other side of it is like, no, you have to be like this, you have to do this, you have to idolize. They don't say that, but yeah, that's what it is. this
yeah.
this this being this person and all that. So
Mhm.
yeah, how do you navigate through fear that is all around us and that's always been with us since we were born? So not since I was born on this
Mhm.
planet, I didn't know it was fear, but I wasn't able to define fear. But
Mm.
what I was going through, majority of what I was going through my whole life is actually fear. It's fear based. I mean, starting with the fear of God. I have questioned that when I was little, but I dare not say anything about it. Why do I have to fear God? I thought he's loving and all that. But I mean, these times we are being conditioned more and more into being fearful. That is so true, right? Into like starting 3 years ago with the sickness. Oh no, everyone was not everyone, but a lot of people were fearful. Even I was fearful. Not because I'm fearful of getting sick that time, but I was like, what are they going to do to me? And if you focus on that, that becomes so real in your life. But as soon as you decide, I'm not going to pay attention to that because it makes me so uncomfortable, then it goes away. It just dissipates and seems to be really far from you until you put your focus back on it again. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think fear also, I like my new acronym for fear, which of course, I didn't invent this, but I don't know who to give credit to. But I will say that fear for me is feeling excited and ready. Feeling excited and ready. And it takes that whole dun 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 out of it, right? It takes all that negative energy away from it. Because at the end of the day, guys, as you know, we are going through a spiritual awakening. We are ascending. And the world is going to change. We know this. The world has to. It has to. Not only for humanity's sake, but Gaia, she is a sentient being. And she's like done. She's like, I'm ready for my next life, show my next experience. So to honor that also, right? She's rumbling. Things are happening. She's moving, she's stretching, she's doing stuff, and we're freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, way California's gonna fall in the water. I mean, all this crazy stuff. And you can get so overwhelmed with fear about the world and what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. Oh my gosh, that it paralyzes you. Or you can take a step back, look at everything and say, you know what? I'm going to stay in my own lane because in this moment, I am safe. I am loved. I am okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm living in my little house. I'm going to have dinner in about an hour. We're okay. I'm not going to worry myself into panic and a headache or a migraine or, a fight with my spouse or kick the dog or beat the kids, right? And I don't approve of any of that, by the way, but I'm just saying people sometimes when they get so scared, their angst comes out in lots of different ways. We drink more, we eat more, we're not nice, we're frustrated, we just panic, panic, panic. And guys, that doesn't help the collective. We are all energy. So when you are feeling that much fear about something that hasn't happened yet, about something that we don't know if it's going to happen, and something that is not even happening here right now in our home, in your space, then what you're doing is all you're doing is revving up your engine and sending out boatloads of negative energy, fear energy out into the world. And I've said this before on my own channel, Irene, you and I've talked about this, but fear energy is like a red powder mist that if you could see what fear looked like, we would be covered in it. We'd be red and black and purple and blue and all these dark colors. And if we could give love a color, light a color, joy a color, happiness a color, it would be white, it would be yellow, it would be pink, it would be vibrant, right? It would have sparkles, it have glitter.
Whatever your favorite colors are.
Yeah, whatever your favorite colors are, right? And if you like sparkles like me, then
like black,
go for
go for it.
Right. Well, I think what I'm trying to say, yes, you're right, colors. But I think what I'm trying to say here, guys, is we don't realize the impact our energy has out there. And then we wonder why the world is the way it is. And we're so angry. Anger just begets more anger, right? Fear just increases and makes more fear. So I think for me, one of the things that I've learned to do, and this started probably years ago for me, but I applied it definitely during the pandemic because
Mm.
everyone was afraid of the droplet, right? The droplet. It was just panic everywhere. And one thing that I did that I made a point to do every day was to watch a funny video, to color. I had coloring books. I just went back to third grade. I spent as much time as I could outside in my own house, of course, right? In the sun. I
Mm.
paid attention to how much water I was really drinking. Um, I didn't worry about not seeing my friends or my family or my coworkers. I just wasn't going to stress out about it. If I had to go get groceries, I just I just had a different attitude. It helped me to not be so much in fear.
Yeah.
So we watched comedy movies, we watched babies laughing on YouTube, we watched cute dog
The
videos.
dogs, the
Yeah, cat
cats.
videos. Yeah, cats are hilarious, pretty much, I have to say. Um, but it just, you know, I think there's a lot that we can do to help curb some of those fears. And then I wasn't putting out fear energy, I was putting out fun energy and loving energy. And so my world, despite all things, was actually pretty loving and positive, I have to say. What do you
That's
think,
so
Irene?
cool.
What's your
Wow.
what's your take?
Yeah. I totally agree, Letty. And also
Mhm.
that um, we have to identify the fear. Because sometimes we actually don't see something as fear. We just see it as a routine. That's just part of life, Then
Yeah.
how can you actually turn that into love if you don't see it as fear, right? So when you talked about that so-called pandemic, was it 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Um, I was in that period of time where I was, I have started looking at my spirituality, and I was like listening and reading all these really good books that are suited for me that I like. And I got a job just, few weeks before that. And I traveled to another country to go and start the job for, a few months. And the day that I traveled, it was the day that they locked everything down. I can remember being very excited on the plane because the pilot was talking about, we hope to see you again in another time when this is all over. That kind of like, this is the last
Yeah.
breath kind of thing. I got really excited. I even recorded him. And then, went to the airport in this other country, and it was so dark. The shops were closed, and it was like, I went to the bathroom, and the bathroom was so clean. No one has used it. Like, you look into
Nobody's
the
in there.
bin, I was like, no one has used it. It was so clean. It was so different, but I wasn't scared. And it turned out that I had to go into quarantine. And what happened then was my employer then said, oh, you have to go to quarantine. And last minute, we changed your quarantine place. I was going to be in this, in this hospital room, or, the doctor's rooms in the hospital, but they actually put me into the beach side, into this nice little beach cottage that is just meters away from the beach. And it was a very, very quiet beach too. And that was like, I was really excited. So that's just an example of when you don't actually
So
see
into
what's
fear.
happening as
Yeah.
fear, when you
Yeah.
just get excited about it. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, what's next? Then you get what you put out,
Yeah.
because you're the one creating your
Yeah.
world, your
Hmm.
universe, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
keep in that positive state of mind. But I must say that I haven't stayed in that positive state of mind. I go down and I go
Yeah, we
up, I
dip.
go down, and
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on
Yeah.
yourself, because
Yeah. Take it
we
easy.
are still in this world, and this world is unrelenting in giving
Yeah.
us all these things. But every now and then, when you get fearful or uncomfortable, you try and stop and say, I'm not going to be in fear. I'm going to see this in the light,
Hmm.
in the love, in a positive state. And your world will probably change in that moment,
Right.
right?
Well, not only that, but you know what is also, I think sometimes, and this I learned, this was a big lesson for me, was I had to keep reminding myself that this too shall pass.
Oh yeah.
This too shall pass. And for a lot of us, we didn't
And
know how
I
long.
can see peace instead of this.
Yeah.
That's one of the Course in Miracles lessons,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yes. And I think that's one of the things, guys, that we really talk about a lot, Irene and I, is the Course in Miracles or even the Way of Mastery. It
Yeah.
helps you. It helps you to look at everything in a completely different perspective because we as human beings, and then if you're, if you're a very dramatic novella kind of soul like me, meaning, very colorful, um, it's the end of the world. It's like, oh, no. And I totally remember the Mexican novellas. Okay, Latinas. Are you anybody out there? How many Mexicanas are watching this? Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. You get the real the camera zooms in on the eyes, and then she's just she's making all these faces. And it's really but it's so dramatic, right? It's so dramatic. But at the end of the day, sometimes I was going down Dramaville. I should have won Oscars every other week. My husband will tell you. But it was, I think, like you said, we do have these dips. We have these highs, we have these lows, we have these blah, 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 whatever they are. And I think right now we have to all also try to remember not only will this shall too pass, right? This too shall pass, but we have to trust that everything is going to be okay. We are going to be
Oh
okay.
yeah. Yeah.
We are surrounded by love. We are surrounded by angels and spirit guides, and the veil is thinning. Okay. Even those that have transitioned on before us, some of our family members, they're around. They are very much around. I,
Yeah.
I have, I have feelings sometimes where I'm like, hey, grandma, how's it going? You know, I have a very special person who passed away who I smell quite often. Right. And I have a tia who's
What
always,
is the
whenever,
smell?
you know what? Well, okay. So I'm going to give you two.
Careful.
There's
They're listening.
one. Yeah. One of them is Vicks,
Oh,
mentholatum. That was my grandpa. He used to use Vicks for everything. I don't know if you ever remember. Did you ever see that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding,
yeah.
where the
Yeah.
dad is the Windex and he has the Windex for
Yes.
everything. Windex cures it all. It's for everything.
Yeah.
That was my grandpa with Vicks. He had Vicks everywhere. He would had it under his nose. He had it up his nose. He had it behind his ears. He had it on his feet, had his hands, and his glasses were always coated. We never knew if he could see us. It was always real cloudy, because he had it on his hands, and then he would grab his glasses and be like, "Mia, here, let me get my glasses." And then I knew he couldn't see who we were. He'd call us all kinds of different names, Leti, Tochi, Juan, all these. But he had a Vic smell. So there's been many times where I smell that Vic smell, and I'm like, okay, Grandpa. And it's usually when I'm feeling a little insecure about something, like, I don't know if I can do that. Should I do this? Should I do? And I'm just like, and there he is. And the other one is a cigarette smell, a cigarette smell.
Ah.
Yeah. And back in the day, we grew up with, I mean, smoking wasn't a big deal for years and years and years up until what, about 20 years ago. And so I had several of my family members that used to smoke back in the 60s and 70s. And I remember them that way. And I think that may be why they come in the way they come in, because that's how I remember them. Right. It's my memory.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
my memory. Yeah.
It
Yeah. For
it
someone
is
else, it could
unique
be
to you.
different.
It could just be unique to you, or it could
Yeah.
be a collective experience with,
Yeah.
your family that you all could
Yeah.
smell the fix, right?
Right.
But I
Right.
guess it depends. We will never be able to tell what's going to happen, right?
Right.
So the fears that are happening in the world, I mean, it's always the same, right? Have you noticed the same thing over and over and over again? The fear of the banks collapsing, the fear of this politician or this whatever, what country, China, Russia, they're
World War
always the
Three.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's always the same. It's the fear of running out of food, of water, of flooding, and if you look at the mainstream media, that is what they're actually putting out there. And
Yeah.
so one thing that I've learned is that I don't watch mainstream media. I just see it as feeds on my YouTube, and that's okay. And it's okay to click on it as well. But what I do now, I use it as a kind of a gauge, of a
Mm.
barometer. And it's like, ooh, is that what they're wanting us to fear now? Like, let's go back to the balloons, right? Ooh, that's a new thing that I've never actually heard about, balloons spying on us and on, well, in my life anyway. So that's, I
Right.
use that as a gauge of what are they trying to control us with now. So
Yeah.
if they're saying, oh, this is a nuclear whatever from China or from Russia, then
Mhm.
how I would take it is that they want us to be scared that there's nuclear power. But I mean there is, but it's not gonna. That's your grandma.
Yeah, she's going, Nina, listen to your friend. Telling me, listen to your friend. Yeah, grandma. Okay, I got it. I got it. No,
Yeah,
you're
so
right.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that is what they're wanting us to fear. It's like, oh, there's gonna be flooding or fires. But really, if you stop and think about it, what's there to be fearful about? We can always do lots of things according to what we want and how we want it. And there's no death.
No.
The physical body, yeah, it dies because it's not really made to last. But
Right.
our spirit, our soul is always
Soul
there. There's no
forever.
death. There's
Right.
no death. And that's been the biggest, to me, the biggest trick in the world is to let humanity believe that there is actually death. And even our Jesus has demonstrated that on the cross, the
Yeah.
physical body is not there, but I am still here.
Yeah.
And he is still here. So is everyone else, all those who have died, and the spirit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And I think, so I think the message for today, I think in general, just to kind of summarize it a little bit for everybody is, you can know what's happening out in the world and use it as a barometer to send love out, to send joy out.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that is coming at you from the TV set, the news channels, wherever, radio, right? Look at it and say, okay, this could be a fear moment, but you know what? I'm okay right now. So I'm going to send love to everyone in that country. I don't know you, but I love you. You're my friend. Okay. I'm going to send you some love and energy. I'm going to bless all these leaders because we all are light. At the end of the day, we all come from the same source. And I know that's going to be a little hard for some people. They're like, oh my God, she's really lost her mind, right? It's true, though. It really is
It's
true.
actually a good
And
sign if people are saying you've lost your mind, which
because I
means
have,
you're losing your mind out of this world
hmm
that's not real.
yeah, right. Yeah. It is good to lose your mind. So I think, but I
It
think
is.
it is
Oh,
good to
la,
lose your
la,
mind.
la.
Yeah. but try different things, guys. Don't let all of this, weigh you down. I think that's the most important thing. Your soul is vibrant. You are vibrant. You are a vibrant being. And if you're watching this video, then our energy is energy that you like, that that attracted you for some reason. You are resonating with us. And so you're probably going, yeah, man, I never thought about it that way. Or, okay, they're kind of weird, but they're good. I'm going to listen more. Whatever it is, nothing is by accident. Everything is meant to happen. People come into your life experience because they're meant to be there for you. And so if you really are digging this little frequency we got going on here, me and Irene, then just know that it's meant for you. And so don't be in fear, actually change that acronym to, that word to feeling excited and ready because the world is going to change for the better. The world that Irene and I know is coming is loving, it's collaborative, it's joyful, it's plentiful, it's abundant, it's rich in all those amazing things.
Mhm.
And there's no lack anywhere in the world that we know is coming. There is no
And
lack
and
and
it
no
can be
suffering.
right here, this moment.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Oh,
wait
yeah.
for it. It's right here, this moment. And I'm gonna share, I'm just gonna share one thing that I do, and I think you do that as well, Leti. That if there's something happening in my life that is so fearful or makes me uncomfortable, or it's just that I don't want to deal with this, but I have to, for example, whatever it is, relationship issues, money issues, government control issues, health issues, and all that. You can get sucked on very, very quickly with that, with those things, as has happened to me many times. But what I've learned is that for whatever it is, there's always some wise words that come to me. And what I do, I just go to my Course in Miracles book, open a lesson, because like there are 365, 66, 65 lessons. So every day.
Yeah.
So every day there's like, lesson from 1 to 300 and, I should know. 365, and so if you've gone through those lessons, you can always go back. If say you're having an issue, like, I don't know what to do, please help me. And then what you do is just, for example, you're having issues with your relationships. What you do, you can just, if you want, you can open a page, and then it says, which I've opened this one, lesson 194. And for example, I'm having relationship issues, for example, right? It says, I place the future in the hands of God. I mean, isn't it like, wow, that's for me today. That's really for me, So whatever page you open, it's gonna answer, your doubts. It's gonna give you hope.
Right.
Yeah. So you just, to those who are called to do so, grab a book.
Well, okay.
Grab
So
your
you know
Course
what?
in Miracles. Yeah.
I'm going to read what Jesus's response was in A Year of Forgiveness. Okay, this is the companion book to the Course in Miracles.
Yes, and we will.
So she brought up. Yes, we'll put it in the link. But she brought up lesson 194. So this is what he summarizes it to say.
This is a channeled message from Tina Spalding.
Yeah, through Tina Spalding from Jesus, from our bro. So, and there's no coincidence in anything. I just want you guys to just watch how this is all coming together. Okay. We did not have the book in here. I wasn't ready for it. She wasn't going to do it. This is not planned. Okay. I just want to make sure you guys understand this is all guided. Well, so I opened up, something said, get your forgiveness, Leti, and read something. Read it from here. So here it is, guys. This is the end of this, what his synopsis was. Make this decision throughout your day to day. Do not worry about the future. Do not think about what might happen if you do this or if you do that. Trust that in this moment, that if you do your best in whatever situation you are in, you forgive and you bring love to whatever you do, then you do, in fact, trust in divine purpose. Thus, you are giving your future over to the hands of God. In that surrender of destiny, you relax and you do the very best you can in this moment. Instead of being contaminated by fear, worry, and resentment, you stay present. You are, in this holy instant, loving. That will guarantee you a beautiful future. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will speak again tomorrow. How beautiful is that?
See, if I opened up a different lesson, not random, but randomly, yes, we're going to put that random, it's still going to give you the same message that's going to help you with whatever situation you're in at the moment.
Yeah.
If you just put your trust in it, and if you're willing really to see the truth, and one of the lessons is like, above all else, I want to see, not see with your physical eyes, but really see in your mind. I want to see, which means I want to understand this. Please guide me, something like that. Beautiful.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just saw how we live our life every day. Whenever we have a question, whenever something is troubling us, or we just have this feeling, we will go to the Course in Miracles or to the Way of Mastery or whatever we've been guided to go to. And the perfect, loving energy is right there. And that I just read is a perfect way to end the segment on fear. And how do you handle fear, especially with the times that we're living in? Trust that we are all okay. Trust that you are loved beyond measure, that you are absolutely perfect, and that everything that comes into your experience is perfect. There you
Absolutely.
go. Yeah.
Whatever you're going through at the moment, remember all is well
Yeah. All is well. And this too shall pass.
in heaven and on earth, because
On
they
earth.
are one. That was good. Thank
That
you,
was
guys.
great. Thank you, guys. Love you so much. Sending big hugs and blessings. Namaste. From our
Bye.
soul to your soul, Lightworkers 5.0. We're here. We love you. And we pray for you. Be well.